Oh, baby, that's a lot of iPhones right there. It is every iPhone 12, iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro. It's all the colors because you need to see them all compared so you can make up your mind about which one's the best, which one you want. Believe it or not, I've got even more stuff here. I have also the MagSafe charger. I have the 20-watt power brick. I've got some cases as well from Later Case, the thinnest case you're gonna put on your iPhone 12. I've also got third-party power bricks from Anker as well, a secondary option to Apple's power brick. Since you don't get one in the box this time around, you can get a 20-watt charger that's even smaller than what Apple is selling for less money than what Apple is selling. So more on that in a moment as well. And then one more thing from Later Case, because
created with free version for non-commercial use.
These displays still scratch. Here I have the uncompromising screen protector, new product category for Later Case, made with Gorilla Glass. This is gonna protect your precious investment. It's a 2-pack. You can add it to your order, so check that out in the description as well. All right, so we got the pros, we got the regulars. What do we have for colors? Let's see, what do they call them all? We got blue, we got white, and red, and green. You don't get the fancy names with the regular iPhones. It's just, I mean, it's just blue, red, green, white, and black. However, if we switch over to the Pro model, we get into the fancy names. All right, maybe not that one. That's gold. How about graphite? That's pretty fancy. And then what about Pacific Blue? I think it's gonna be a favorite for some people right there, Pacific Blue. In fact, I think we're actually gonna do the Willy Blue color for Later Case as well. So that's gonna be a nice little match right there.
Created with free version for non-commercial use.
The silver. So graphite, silver, Pacific Blue, and gold in the Pro model. How about we kick off this unboxing with, oh, I don't know, the blue, the regular iPhone 12 blue. And so, as you know, I mean, with the Apple unboxing experience, it's so special. And for me, this time around, and I know it's a polarizing kind of topic, the whole charging situation that Apple is going with here in 2020, but it has allowed for this extremely sleek packaging. I think they say it's 70% smaller than the previous version. So if you pick up a power brick, your very own power brick, you already have a power brick, or you pick up a new power brick, well, you're not going to have to be encumbered in this package itself. This one is going to get to remain very sleek. So I'll crack this one real quiet. Shh. Oh, baby. Now, obviously, you've recognized here
created
I have many
with free version
iPhones.
For non-commercial
so,
use.
Yes, you guessed it correctly. I will arrange a giveaway very shortly on the channel. So make sure to hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss that. Here we go. We lift the top. Ooh, that's a blue. That's a blue right there. I'll tell you what. You see the cutout on the top of the packaging to make way for that camera unit. Now, this is it's a whole new design. I know I've handled some of the models, but not the real thing yet. And let me tell you, it's a throwback to the previous version, but it feels refined and it feels new. And I think that's what a lot of users are looking for with the next generation iPhone. People were, you know, waiting for an all new model potentially to upgrade. Then you add to it the 5G aspect, and maybe Apple's gonna sell a few of these. Look at that blue color. Interesting. In photos, to my eye, this looked a little brighter. I'm not, and this is slightly more muted, this blue, but it could just be my environment.
Created
to be
with
honest
free
with you, it's
version
probably
for
to my
non-commercial
taste,
use.
it looking a little more muted from what it did originally in pictures. All right, looking around the device, we have our typical little slider here for silencing the tones of the phone. We have volume up, volume down over here. On the other side of the unit, we have our power switch, elongated power switch. Maybe one day that will also house a fingerprint scanner to go with Face ID. As you know, in 2020, many people wearing masks. Some had hoped to see that on this model, maybe next time around. Now let's go ahead and remove this little cover right here. Very nice. And we'll go ahead and hit the power button real quick. Now, the other interesting thing, the magnets that are now installed on the back of the device in a circular fashion around the Apple logo, which will interface with this little MagSafe charger. Now, it's important to note with this charger, it does not ship with a power brick. So you will still need to bring your very own power brick to the
Created
party,
with
even
free
if
version
you
for
go
non-commercial use.
with this magnetic wireless charger. The other thing I should note that this does work through cases, and it worked especially well through the later case, which is a crazy thin Kevlar case, which actually feels a lot like the phone itself when it's installed. In other words, it doesn't change the shape. It's about as thin as you can do with this really amazing material, Kevlar. The only thing you're going to get inside the package is this USB Type-C to Lightning cable. And this is another thing some had hoped for, to potentially see Type-C in this device. And since it's not there, the question now is whether or not the next version of iPhone could potentially be portless, seeing as how long they've resisted USB-C on both sides of the cable. However, with wireless charging and their push towards wireless, I'm not sure how big of an issue that is. So it's just a cable, a phone, and a SIM tool, and a tiny bit of paperwork. It is a very
created with free version for non-commercial use.
Certainly. All right, now before I get to all the other phones, I do want to check out the power brick and MagSafe situation. So I have this package from Anker. Shout out to Anker actually for sponsoring this video. They've even got a deal for you guys if you pick up their power brick. This tiny little brick at the top right here is 3 times faster than the previous version Apple power brick. Look at that. Featuring IQ3 PD technology, they were able to pack 20 watts into this tiny little brick. So it feels like your Apple 5-watt adapter. And the crazy part is this thing is under $20, plus there's an extra discount because you're an Unbox Therapy viewer. So if you need to pick up a power brick to go with your phone, don't go for anything less than 20 watts. Pick this one up right here and catch a crazy deal on one of the best reviewed bricks that's on Amazon right now. So check the description for that. And here's the best
created
part.
With free version for non-commercial use.
Substantially smaller than Apple's own power brick, which they're selling for 20 bucks. And you've probably seen this before. It's the same rough structure as their previous 15-watt power brick. So you tell me what's better. Those are both 20 watts. I think it should be obvious which one I'm going to take. It's going to be the tiny little Anker device. I mean, that is pocketable. Imagine 20 watts in a tiny little package like that. Check the description to pick yours up. To go with your iPhone or any other device for that matter, 20 watts. They're claiming that it's capable of 53% charge in about 30 minutes, the Anker Nano. All right, now let's talk a little bit more about magnets before I get to the other colors. So this is the MagSafe charger that everyone's talking about. It will slap onto the back of your device nice and easily. And I know people have some questions about how this thing will operate.
Created with free version for non-commercial use.
I did show it off in a recent video. However, I'm going to test it out now that I have the iPhone 12 here as well. And so, I mean, there you have it. It's pretty straightforward stuff. And this is the design they've gone for. For what reason? Well, I think because it allows you to continue to use your phone while you're charging, even if you're on wireless. Now, it's not going to be quite as fast as a wired charger. This is going to be capable of delivering 15 watts, but you're still going to need a power brick over the 5 watts that you may already own in order to take advantage of the full 15 watts the wireless is capable of. Now, Apple put out their own cases, ones like this, in order to interact with the MagSafe adapter, but you don't have to be stuck using just these Apple cases. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of them. They tend to get dirty. I mean, this one, it hasn't even been in the studio very long, and check out the dirt and the grime and all that. So I just got the prototype
created with free version for non-commercial use.
iPhone 12 later case, which maintains the sleekness of the iPhone 12, and it works flawlessly with the magnetic charger. It's so thin that the magnet still makes a nice grip on the back of your device, and the other MagSafe accessories will work through it too, where with other third-party cases, they're not going to be able to do that. So anyway, that's a kind of cool little bonus with the later case and the Kevlar material interacting with the MagSafe products. All right, so that's the blue model. Why don't we switch over to a Pro now? How about I look at, oh, I don't know, the silver unit. This is a 128 GB version. I'll be quiet for a moment. Oh yes, very nice. Now obviously you notice the box is quite a bit different here. We have white versus black for the Pro model, and they're different devices. Obviously the Pro model adds that extra camera module, a slightly different look. I'm noticing already this blue model is picking up some pretty significant fingerprints because, well, it's a glossy finish. It's a glass finish. However, on the Pro model, it's a little less evident because it has this kind of brushed or slightly more matte finish. Now, on the white model, that is even more protective against fingerprints. However, the edge of the device might be a different story because this is made out of stainless steel. It creates a slightly heavier device as well. And I know it looks good, but that is also, of course, going to attract a few fingerprints. Although, as you can see, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's a very flashy look to it. So let me remove this piece. And yeah, actually, you know what? It does. It does get a bunch of fingerprints on it. On this model with the stainless steel coloring. Let me see how this one works out.
Created with free version for non-commercial use.
Well, now I should also mention that the case will come in a Cyber Edition with the full coverage in the camera area, but since this is a prototype, it's not showcasing it, so you will have cutouts for the separate modules, including the LiDAR on the final version of this particular case. So the white model here, I kind of like this brushed look to it. I think it would probably be my preference over the standard model fingerprint magnet. However, this blue color might be a little more to my taste than a white phone. Beyond the stainless steel exterior and the extra camera module and the slightly different surface on the back, otherwise you're talking about a very similar experience here.